I'm back with another freaking video. I'm gonna do another video of me taking these curls out. But right now, I just woke up and it's raining like hell. But this, um, this is how much we got into the book, and that's how much we got to do. We kind of almost, we almost halfway through the book, like the other one. Let's get right into it. After halfway to school, I turn around and head home. I was planning to go, but as I'm crossing Broadway, I lo- I lost heart. The strength that's been holding me together slides away. I can't take another day of being stared at, of listening to rumors but and and Lido I don't know, of Sarah interrogating me, of classes that I cannot follow, of Zach everywhere and yet nowhere, of stupid talk about Irene. I'm not sure I can ever go back to school. Dad is flying out this morning on assessment to Jamaica to stay in I'm what thing thing what flaming house. It's 8:15. His flight is at 9 o'clock. Even with his love of close calls, he should be gone by now. I don't remember the last time I was alone in the apartment. Every step I take toward home is lighter than the one before. I turn the corner and there's Dad getting into a cab. I step back. I just, I mean, I step back, just like Dad to be crazy late. How's he going to make it? Well, if really, when he misses the plane, surely they'll put him on a later one. It should still be ages before he turns up, but I want to throttle him. It feels like he did it on purpose thwart, to thwart, thwart me. Once I'm sure the cab is gone, I com- I climb the I climb the chairs to our apartment. The only time I like it is when it's empty, especially after Dad has gone on one of his trips. He says he can't pack unless the apartment is neat, so he cleans and polishes and tie-dyes. That's how he likes things: clean, shiny, orderly. As unlike as unlike the farm had as unlike the farm as possible. It is the only thing we have in common. I walk in and shut the door behind me, lock it. The stupid girl next door has her music up loud. I go directly to the brat's room. It's not clean or orderly. There are dolls and trucks everywhere, though the brat calls them action figures. It drives him crazy when I call them dolls. So I do. Is what they are. Fake people that you can dress and play with and accessorize. What else would you call them? I start with the toy boxes, going through each one, then his chest of drawers, and there it is, the second drawer underneath his pajamas. Zach's sweater. I hug it, press it to my nose. It doesn't smell like Zach anymore. It smells like the brat. Doesn't matter that I also doesn't matter that I also have Zach's jersey, which reeks of him. I stole that. The sweater Zach gave me is a direct connection between us. I'm going to kill the idiot boy. I take the sweater into my room and put it in the one place I know the Brett will never go, even if he's stupid enough to brave my room again. I push back the cloth. I push back the cloth over my metal desk, lift up the lid and put it inside. After, when Brandon follows me after school, he is much more steady than Sarah, which isn't hard. For a while. I don't notice him because I am lost in playing dodge the crowd, floating in the movement of air currents. Me and my backpack, me and my backpack is space, weaving around everyone, listening to the rhythms of feet on sidewalk, forgetting anything that isn't weaving and dodging. For whole seconds at a time, I am not thinking about that. Damn, my bad, y'all. Okay, for whole seconds at a time, I am not thinking about Zach. Part of me must sense Brandon following because I am jangled. I am off my game. I keep misguiding the distance, narrowing the nearest touch. Sorry, y'all. I'm morning. I mean, I'm really texting me through. The corner of someone's coat grazing my backpack, the clip of my bag, I mean, the clip of my back of a heel, stupid, annoying, back I go to the start of the block. It isn't till we're in Central Park that I spot him, if you can call it that. He wants me to see him. I'm going through one of the stretch routines Zach taught me, my heel resting on a low fence. I lean forward till I feel it along my hamstrings. My skin prick. Oh, all right. All I need to do is fucking lean up on the fucking bottle. Wait, my bad, y'all. Where the fuck was I? I lost where I was at, y'all. Okay. Okay. I found where I was at. Okay. A couple are making out on a blanket under an elm tree. There's a family with four kids and one mother pic- picnicking on a much larger blanket. The kids are laughing. The oldest with braids is tickling the youngest. The mother is moving the cake out of the way of the toddler's flailing feet. Then there's Brandon sitting on the grass, staring at me, smirking. He stands up, walks toward me, sits on the fence. Stretching, huh? He says, as if there's something sinister about it. What do you want? I say, and immediately wish I hadn't. I should ignore him. He wants to get me red riled, but I want to know why he's here. He doesn't like me. I don't like him. We have nothing to say to each other. Half a dozen runners stride past. I watched him go. They're wearing the same shorts and t-shirts, yellow and green. I wonder what kind of team they are because they're not runners. Their technique is all wrong. Barely lift knees, arms swinging all over the place, heels pounding flat footed. Zach told me to run more on my toes, the strike only lightly on my heel and have full flexation through through the foot. It made me even faster. I resume my stretch. Brandon pulls out a pack of cigarettes, lights one, inhales, blows smoke at me. I lean deeper into my hamstring stretch. I'm thinking about how much stronger I am than Brandon. I doubt he realizes that boys never do. He should be scared of me because I really don't like him and I'll hurt him if I have to. A single runner paths pass. A real one this time. I don't have to turn. I can tell from their stride. No drag, no pounding of heels. You do this a lot, don't you? He says, especially here. I switch legs, ignoring the foul foul smoke, um, ignoring Brandon because I heard they found the body in Central Park, not far from here, actually. And I thought, shit, Mikai's always here. What what are the odds? Especially with her. Especially with her and Zach being so. He pauses, takes a long drag on his cigarette, blows the smoke in my direction. I have to stop myself from looking up, from telling him that Central Park is not exactly unpopulated. Sorry, hundreds, no, thousands of people are here all the time, night and day. Is he blind? Does he not notice the kids on blades who just floated by? All the runners. What about the family on the blanket and the couple making out not 6 feet from where he was standing on the grass? Sitting on the grass. There's hardly an um, there's hardly an empty patch in Central Park this time of year. Even in winter, there are people out in it, trundling through snow, past past leafless trees, seeking a respite from concrete and steel. I want to ask Brandon how he knows where Zach was found. Was it really here? Where directly? Where exactly? What else does Brandon know? But if he knows, then someone else at school does too. Maybe I can find out without asking Brandon a thing. I take off at top speed, knowing he couldn't keep pace even if I went at a slow trot. Family history. I wouldn't mind going upstate so much if my family went with me. Well, okay, they take me up. Mom and dad, an idiot brother, but they don't stay. Just me. Sometimes I'm afraid they won't return. I'll be stuck there forever. My parents have excuses for not staying, but it feels like they want to be rid of me. You mean they want to get rid of you? But anyway, Dad says you can't work there, not without electricity. His laptop has at most 4 hours of life. He has to go into town to work. Mom hates it. I can never get clean. She says the water is so cold. Jordan would stay, but the greats don't want him. He doesn't say anything in front of me, but I know he's jealous. I've heard him whining to my parents about wanting to play in the woods. Why doesn't grandmother like me? He asks. Because you're a sniveling, snivel, sniveling, useless brat. I want to tell him, but I'm not supposed to have heard. Our apartment's so small that we always pretend we don't hear the things we're not supposed to. Is a good rule. I'm happy with Greats don't want Jordan, but I wish my parents would stay. The Greats have a thing about the oldest child, which is me. The Greats teach me woodcraft, tracking, hunting, skinning, how to find my way in the forest, how to find food, make shelter is more work than school, but if the world ends, we'll be ready. That's the idea. Survivalism. Some of their neighbors are that way. They have what? They have basements full of canned food, dried beans and fruits, secret wells, bows and arrows. The other neighbors are sheep farmers who think they survivalists and the greats are crazy. But then they're always complaining about coyote taking deep taking their sheep. Coyote bigger and tougher than any coyote pre- previously known to the universe. Grandmother says, I've never seen one. She always says, man with coyote skin jacket, maybe what would Hiller have said about that? I never saw any coyote either, not on our property. Black bears occasionally, but never coyote or deer. Not like on some of the neighbors' places where there's more deer than flies, though we have more raccoons and foxes. And our forest is much more foresty without all the deer chomping away herbs and shrub, what, shrubs and sapling have a much better chance. We have taller, stronger, healthier trees and birds and insects everywhere you look. In spring there are more kinds of flowers than I can name. Their fragrances float on air, making breathing a pleasure. It's beautiful, I can admit that. Well, while I hate music, I like bird song. Well, while I hate music, I like bird song. Their bells and flutes don't hurt my ear. I mean, don't hurt my head. Why the fuck am I gotta fucking read y'all? Why the fuck am I fucking up in these words? It's starting to frustrate me. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck am I fucking up on these words. the greats are the greats aren't happy when I call them survivalists. They didn't know the word when I first brought it up. When I described it to them, they sneered. They hate their neighbors, what what they say sounds the same as all the crazy survivalist sites about hunting and tracking and building your own shelter and knowing what's edible and what's not. How to survive, how to survive when the end times come. Grandmother doesn't talk about end times, though she does say that the world is off kilter. Everything she says is hotter and colder and more extreme than it used to be. She prides herself stuck stuck to horse and buggy, on growing her own food, on needing hardly anything from outside. I'm not. I'm a city girl. I like electricity and running water. I don't want to know how to ride a horse, how to slaughter, damn, how to slaughter a calf, how to set a trap, or any of the other things they teach you. I do not belong there, though sometimes it is fun because of Hitler. Now, I must confess to a lie. Everything I've told you so far has been completely true, except for the tiny matter of Uncle, I mean, the tiny matter of great Uncle Hitler. Hitler's alive, but it's not my lie, it's the family's. Hitler's in hiding on the farm. I don't know what it was he did or who he's hiding from, but to everyone other than us. Wilkins Hiller's dead. Grandmother and great aunt hiss at me if I slip up and talk about him in the present tense. Idiot Jordan doesn't know, only Dad and me. I love Hiller. He taught me how to track and when I was little how to run. We we run in the forest together. He's not as fast as me. He's old after all, but it's still fun. He may not be fast, but he's better at running through the woods. I still stumble. Sometimes, oh, yeah. Sometimes I fall. Hillard knows the woods, every old stump, every tree root, every tree root, every shrub. He never even gets spider webs in his face. When someone when something warm, he breathes and edible is near. He goes stiller than a rock, sees it long before it sees him. I wonder how it would have been if grandmother had married Hillard, if Hillard was my grandfather, if I'd grown up in the woods, if there was no city in me at all, I'd never have met Zach. Would that have been better or worse? I think so. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god. Ah, just sneezed my head over. What the fuck? I've never, I'd never have met. Oh my god. I'd never have met Zach. Would that have been better or worse? I think some, maybe most, of what Zach liked about me was the country parts, not the city. When I showed him how to find food in Central Park, how to hide, really hide, showed him red-headed woodpeckers and chipmunks too. He hadn't thought there was an wildlife in the city, not not anything that wasn't a rat or a penguin. He thought I was wild. He liked the wild in me before. I didn't do it to show off. We were running, Zach and me, slow for or slow for so so miles, and halfway up Heartbreak Hill when I smelled fox. I knew they were there. I'd caught their scent before, but not this strong. They were close. Want to see some fox? I asked Zach, slowing my pace to barely running at all. Foxes? He asked, looking at me odd. What do you mean, foxes? Hot girls I didn't notice. Other than you, I mean, he stopped. He looked around. No fox. Actual fox. Does it mean something I don't know about? Cause you can't mean the red animals with the big tails, right? I laughed. He was balanced on one leg, staring at me as if I was about to do something weird. Yes, doof, fox, the animals. I wrinkled my nose, brought my hands up to my face. Red, tricky, eat rabbits, fox, you know. Okay, fox, the animals. What about them? Do you want to see more? Do you want to see some? Here, Zoc looks around in Central Park. I, I mean, Zoc looks around in Central Park. A Mercedes drove by, four bikes with riders tricked out in dazzling fluorescent pad, zip pass. Yes, here. Come on, I said, taking off at a slow trot. Follow me. I breathed deep, sucking in, sucking in fox scent, weeding out all other odors. Mine, Zach's, car fumes, rubber, urine, rain getting ready to fall. I left the path and headed deeper into the park. Zach followed. When we came to the den, I led us upwind and crouched down on rocks behind bushes. Now what? Zach asked. Now we wait, but I don't see anything. I pointed at the book at the brush a little downhill from us. There is in there is a fox den. That's just bushes and a fox den. I couldn't believe he didn't see the trampled grass or smell the sharp meat eater odor. See those white and brown things lying there. I pointed. Zach nodded. Bones? Fox bones. Each Zach asked. No, bones of stuff they've eaten. Probably chipmunk or rabbit, though mostly they get into the trash cans and eat other leftovers. They're really serious. I mean, you're really serious that there are fox in there? Yes. Now wait, we'll see. You'll see. Zach blew air through his teeth and he hunkered down lower, his thigh brushing mine. When the first fox emerged, it was dusk. Its snout was in the air, orange and white, black tip glistening. Oh, tongue hanging out. No shit, Zach whispered. A fox. After, when we interviewed you last Tuesday, Detective Stan says you said you'd never spoken to Zach. Yes, I said, because that's what I said. I don't like them calling him Zach. They didn't know him. They should call him Zachary like all the other clueless adults. This is a house visit. Even though we live in an apartment, a tiny apartment, we are in the kitchen. My dad leans against the fridge next to Detective Rodriguez, who's leaning against the sink. Mirror they are mirror inches from where me and mom are seated side by side on the other side of the kitchen table from Detective Stan. I hope one of the bicyclists falls on him. Bicycles fall on him. Mom has offered them, both of the detectives, coffee and tea and juice and water. They've rejected everything. She offers Rodriguez the seat next to Stan. He says no, he prefers to stand. At the last interview, he sat and Stan leaned. I figured they I figured they reject all forms of hospitality to make it clear that they don't trust me and thus by extension my parents. It feels petty It feels petty. I wish I could ask them questions. Where did they find Zach? Who killed him? Why? Now we hear that Zach's your boyfriend. Stan says, I look down at my hands. I want them to think that I am shy and afraid of them. Not that I am pissed that I have to talk to them. Mom takes my left hand in hers and squeezes it like Yahiko did at the first interview. Is that correct? Rodriguez asks. What? I ask. Maybe if they think I'm stupid, they'll leave me alone. Is it true that Zachary Rubin was your boyfriend? He was Sarah Washington's boyfriend. Stan shifts in his seat and accidentally kicks the toaster under the table. There is a loud clang that echoes around the tiny kitchen. And also your boyfriend, Detective Stan says, as if he hadn't just hurt his toes. or was every or was every student who told me that lying. He leans across the table. I can smell his breath. He's a smoker. He's tried to cover it up with something peppermint flavored, but the nicotine is stronger. Three of his fingers are stained yellow. I hear that it's you who tells lies. Is that true? The the unanswerable question, so I don't. I stare at my fingers interlaced with mom's. My nails need trimming. Mom squeezes my hand a little tighter. You're a liar, aren't you, Makai? Stan hisses at me. Is your rudeness necessary, officer? My father asks in his calm tone of voice, which means he's really angry. Detective Stan and Rodriguez say at the same time, detectives, I'd appreciate it if you didn't yell at my daughter. We agreed to this interview because we want to assist with your investigation. I don't want to call my lawyer, but I will. As far as I know, Dad doesn't have a lawyer. Sorry, Mr. Wilkins, Stan says, not sounding even slightly apologetic. We're trying to get to the truth. We're very sorry, ma'am. Sorry. What? We're very sorry, ma'am, sir. Detective Rodriguez says, looking first at my mom, then my dad, and sounding more sincere. But we have to ask these questions. We can also conduct this interview at the station. We don't want to insist on that, but this is a criminal investigation. Dad opens his mouth to object and Stan talks across him. Was he your boyfriend, Makai? No, I say. We never used that word. Well, okay, sometimes I did, but in my thoughts, not out loud. Zach never called me anything but Makai. I glanced at Dad, who gives me half a smile but is not happy. Mom squeezing my hand again. I'm glad for the comfort of it, but I don't think it will continue after this interview. He wasn't he wasn't your boyfriend? No, I think about telling them that it's a lie Brandon has been telling. He says he saw us kissing In Central Park, we never kissed. I could tell them he's such a liar. It is drawn on me that it is dawning on me that I am a suspect, not just at school, but with the police. Did you see him outside school? Stan's cheeks are red. He looks like he wants to shake me. I glance at Rodriguez. He's harder to read, but he doesn't seem kind. They really believe I could have killed Zach. I move my head, something that's half nod and half shape. They take it as a yes. Why didn't you tell us last time that you knew him outside of school? Stan asks. It was a secret. I promised I wouldn't tell anyone. I'm sure Detective Rodriguez said that Zach wouldn't have met the police. Well, he's dead, isn't he? None of his wishes mean anything now. My promises are as dead as he is. I still don't want to talk about him. Not with them. Detective Stan is leaning across the kitchen table, staring at me. It's creepy. I wish the table was wider. I wish the kitchen was bigger too, or that there was a living room instead of it being mom and dad's bedroom and where we watch TV. What did you do together outside of school? Stan asks in a tone of voice that applies. We must have been doing something he didn't approve of. I look at my mom. She squeezes my hand tighter. Dad nods and smiles. We ran, I say, training. I like to run. She's very fast, my dad says, sounding proud. Where did you run? Rodriguez says, X, Central Park mostly. When did you last see him? Friday night. You ran at night? Rodriguez said, as if that's unusual. Lots of people do, Dad says in a tone that says he thinks Rodriguez is stupid and from the sticks. It's one of the it's one of Dad's favorite tones. Stan briefly trans Stan briefly transfers his glare from me to Dad, but then he's back at glaring at me. I want to tell him he's not getting to me, but that would probably prove to him that he is. So you ran together. You didn't chat or go get a malt stand eggs. We ran, I say. I wonder what a malt is. A malt, I don't know is. I know it doesn't matter. I don't want to think about them believing I killed Zach. What time did you start running that night? I'm not sure, I say. Maybe 9 or 9:30. Was it any different from your normal running sessions? Rodriguez said no. I say we stretched. We practiced sprints, then we did distance. A bit more than 10 miles. 10 miles. Stan asked, what did you start? What time did, what time did you start? Must have been by 8:30. You started your 10-mile run at 8:30 and we're done by 9:30. What? you're running 6 minute miles. He asks. He thinks I'm lying. I never lie about running. 6 minutes. I am tempted to tell him that I go sub 5 all the time, but Dad hates it when I show off. Besides, if they know how fast I run, maybe that will make them suspect me more. We were running for a long time, I said. I told you she's good, didn't I? Dad says we were building up to 26, I add. That's the length of a marathon. Dad explains to show them how stupid he thinks they are. 26 miles, 385 yards. He is not helping me. When you when you were done training that night, Rodriguez says, What did you what did you do? Went home. Did you go home together? No, I say, even though we did. He lived in Inwood and I'm all the way down here. And that's the same time you saw him? Rodriguez asked. Yes. Did he seem upset? Rodriguez asked, trying to sound concerned. No. Did he say he was going to meet with anyone? No. He said he was going home. Didn't didn't just say it. I ran with him every step of the way from the park to Inwood. Did he ever tell you he was afraid of anyone? Stan wants to know. No, never. I don't think he was afraid of anything or anyone. I shake my head. He wasn't even afraid of me, which made him different from almost everyone else at school. Most of them are too scared to look at me eye in the eye. It's like they think my lies are contagious or that looking at me will turn them into as big a weirdo as I am. What was his frame of mind when you last saw him? Rodriguez asked. Frame of mind? I want to mock him, but he is a policeman who thinks I might have killed Zach. He was tired, beat, but he seemed happy. I didn't think it would be the last time I'd ever see him. I have to concentrate to keep my voice steady. I can't cry in front of them. Was it the last time? Yes, I said, like I told you. We have an account from another student who says you saw him late Saturday night, or rather early Sunday morning. Sarah had to be. Why had I lied to her about that? Because I wanted her to feel bad, wanted her to think I was the last one who kissed him. Not her. No, you can ask mom and dad. I was here all of that Saturday, Sunday too. Rodriguez turned to dad. Yes, dad says. Mom nods. Lakai was grounded that weekend. Why? Rodriguez asks. Dad pauses. Mom and dad look at each other. No, my mom says. It is not for us to say. They grounded me because they caught me kissing Zach. One of their many rules for me is no dating until after high school. There there'll be no such rule for Jordan. He doesn't have the family illness. It is
a private matter for the family only, Mom says. Stan and Rodriguez don't look convinced or impressed. We can continue this at the station. Sounds like we might have to interview all three of you. Fine, Dad says. Makai stole money from my wallet and then lied when I asked her about it. Great, I think. Now, Dad's lying about my lying and calling me a thief. That will really help. Mom shoots him a soul chilling glare. Isaiah, she muttered. How do you know she did it? I saw her, Dad says. We wanted to see what she would say when we said the money was missing. So you both agree that your daughter is a liar. Well, they walked into that one. Sometimes, Dad says, as if it's no big deal. Aren't most kids? You're trying to teach her better. Hence the grounding. Have you been telling us the truth today, Makai? Stan asks. Yes, sir, I have. I say, I have. Because if we find out you've been lying, the consequences will be much worse than being grounded for the weekend. Do you understand? I nod. Yes, I understand. Rodriguez coughs. I suspect we'll be talking to you again, he says in the meantime, if you think of anything else, no matter how small, let us know. Rodriguez leans over to hand me his card. I put it on the table, staring at it. Maybe they don't suspect me at all. Stan Stan stands up and bangs his head on Dad's bicycle. He swears. Dad looks down and Mom bites her lip. Rodriguez smiles briefly. I'm the only one who's not tempted to laugh after. I'm sick. I tell my dad who slipped into my room see why I haven't gotten up yet. I've been holding an ice pack on my hands and overheating my face by holding it too close to the radiator. The sheets and comforter are pulled up to my chin. My my hot and cold and sweaty. I'm hot and cold and sweaty. I can't face school. I bet they all know that the cops were here. The rumors about me and Zach and what I did to him are getting out of control. Today I can't deal with the whispers. Sweetheart, Dad says, sitting down on the bed. I know it's all been a shock. You need to take time off. Go upstate. I have an urge to tell him how bad it is at school, to beg him to let me finish the school year at home. Stay in my room and send in my assignments, but I'm afraid he'll pack me off to the greats. No finishing the school year, no college, just the farm for the rest of my life. Faking sick is my compromise. I want to have a legitimate absence from school. Maybe I can fake a serious illness long enough not to have to go back and yet still finish the school year. Dad, I say, weekly worried. I'm trying, weekly worried. I'm trying too hard. It's hard to fake regular sick when you've almost never had a cold or flu. Only the family illness. I'm really sick. He puts his hand on my forehead. You do feel a bit hot. Is your throat sore? I nod. It feels like it's full of razor blades, but not the way he means. Give me your hand. I do. Cold, clampy too. That can't be good. Maybe I should take you to a doctor. I look at him. Dad knows how I feel about doctors. There have been way too many in my life. Okay, not a doctor, but if you're still like this when your mom gets home, you might have to. I'll get you some water. What do you want for breakfast? Scrambled eggs? Okay. I nod. For once, I'm glad he works from home. He stands up. Did you take your pill? I don't groan. Just nod weakly. When he closes the door behind him, I pull the covers up over my head, close my eyes and fall asleep. Sometimes I can be very still. Before, why'd you tell that lie about being born messed up? Zach asked me, his mouth tickling my ear. We were at his place, curled together on his bed. His parents were out of town visiting family. The window was wide open and we could hear all the traffic noises from the street 7 stories below. Sometimes even snatches, sometimes even snatches of conversation from people walking by. I hear people talking all the time at my place, but I figured that was cause we're only on the fourth floor. 7 stories on to bring some quiet with it, especially here in Inwood, so much less congested than downtown. Come on, my guy, why'd you lie like that? Wasn't a lie, I told him, turning so that our faces were barely an inch apart. I was born messed up. I was tempted to tell him about the hair. I was tempted to tell him the truth. Zach leaned up on his elbow, looked at me straight, his eyebrows unmoving, his mouth still, like he didn't approve but wasn't going to show it. I leaned up too. My parents don't like to admit that I was born funny. They're the liars, not me. Born with boy parts and girl parts. He stared at me, trying to read my face. You know that's gross, right? If I believed you, there's no way. Really? I asked, shocked it would change how you think about me. I don't know why I was surprised. I was brought up my whole life on the belief that telling people the truth leads to disaster. I've done it too. Told the truth and watched everyone freak out. Are you kidding me? Zach said, moving a little further away from me. Bad enough that you're a liar without thinking about you being all messed up down there. He shrugged. Fine, I said, think what you want to think. I think that you're a mess, but not that kind of a mess. I like you, but I wish you wouldn't lie to me. You don't have to. You can tell me true things. You can tell me nothing at all, but I don't like you lying. You want me to tell you the truth thing? The truth. You want me to tell you a true thing? Okay. And I never told anyone this before. I truly hadn't. I could feel myself holding my breath, getting ready to let it out, but Zach laughed. Never told anything before. Tayshawn said that's what you said when you told him about being a girl and a boy. Tayshawn told you that. I asked, leaning against. So, what's your big secret, huh? Oh shit. I skipped the page, y'all. Leaned against the wall, making myself smaller. Talking was making Zach not want to touch me. I wanted us to stop talking and start kissing. Tayshawn's my boy. You told him you never told anyone before, but then you went and told Chanel and Brandon, and I don't know who else. Well, they were giving me grief for pretending I was a boy. I wanted to shut them up. Zach didn't say anything, but I could tell that he didn't believe me. Fair enough, it was a lie. I told them for the attention, for the pleasure of fooling them, for the look of shock on their faces. Zach put his thumb to my mouth like he didn't want to hear it. My lips felt warm and tingly. How do you feel? How long you been lying for? He asked. Tayshawn thinks you don't know how to tell the truth. Why is that? How come you and Tayshawn talk about me? I asked. I didn't want to answer his questions. I thought we were a secret. We're guys. We don't talk about nothing, like not like girls do. I never told him about you and me. We're a secret. It was before, when everyone was talking about you. Great. Zach laughed. Well, you passed for a boy. You lie inside you lie inside out. People talk. He held my face in both hands and then kissed me. A short, closed mouth kiss, not the kind of kiss I was longing for. How long you been lying? All my life, I said, because he wanted honesty. That's the truth. I don't know if Zach believed me, but I hope you do because you're the only one I've never lied to. What? Zach asked, pulling his hands away. When you were a baby in your crib, sucking on your pacifier, you were telling lies. Okay, so maybe I haven't been lying always, but from the time I started talking, I learned it from my parents. Well, my dad mostly. My mom's lies are white ones. You look fine. Oh, is that what time it is? You know, regular lies. I agree. What about you? What kind of lies do you tell? Regular ones and as few as possible. I don't like them. Why not? He shrugged. It's not right. What do you tell Sarah when you're with me? White lies, the kind that don't harm anyone, but your lies are crazy. Why would you pretend you was a boy, that you were born messed up? Why would you why would you lie all the time? If you've got a big secret, it's best to paper it over with lots of little ones. So, what's your big secret, huh? The moment had passed. I wasn't going to tell him about my family illness. I can't tell you. I'll tickle it out of you, he said, going for my armpits. No, I yelled, trying to roll away, but I was against the wall. You will not. I grabbed his I grabbed for his wrist. He twisted away. He was on top of me, and then I was on top of him, and we were going around and around, and there was less tickling and yelling, and mouths were close and hearts were beating faster, and I forgot what he was asking. Lost it in the taste of his mouth, the feel of his tongue and lips against mine. Makai, Zach breathed. I don't care what you are. I did do history. History of me. You're wondering if we slept together, aren't you? I know you are. It's what everyone wants to know. Did you? Then there's me telling you about us in bed together with no mention of whether our clothes are on or off. And you're doing what? Talking? You don't believe that's all we did, do you? With not with all that tickling and kissing and stuff. You want to know what else we did together, how far it went, first base, second, third, all the way home. You know I'm on the pill, so it's not like I'd get pregnant. You know I'm old enough. It wouldn't make me a slut, would it? He was my only one, but then there's Sarah, Zach's real girlfriend. She's allowed to think that I'm a slut, isn't she? I mean, it's her boyfriend we're talking about. If she's allowed, then everyone else can think it too. Sleeping with someone else's boy is the definition of slut, except that as as it happens, and not that this is any of our business. We weren't, we didn't. It was kissing and holding and hugging, lots of kissing, but we never took our clothes off. Never fucking baggage. Never got past that very first base. He didn't touch mine. My fingers got nowhere near his. See, I am a good girl after all. I didn't kill him either. After, for the first time in my life, I want to be up at the farm, out of school and out of the city. I want to go running with Hiller, have him show me how have him show me some new tricks. I know that after a few days up there, I'll be longing to be back home, but right this instant is what I want. School is too much, but I make myself go anyway. A day in bed was more than I could stand. Dad worrying over me was too much. Everything is too much. In the hall, Tayshawn nods at me. I nod back. He's always been nice to me. I don't know why. I've heard that the police have been interviewing him at home too. No one else greets him. They stare. They talk about me, but not to me. I eat my lunch and Yaika Shoji's room. She's not one of the popular teachers. It's not it's not one of the popular rooms I can sit in bio ear look at the I mean I can sit in bio eat look at the diagrams and posters on the wall, think about evolution and fur and fast twitch muscles, entropy, death and decay. Zach, all right, the biology room is not such a good idea, but what doesn't remind me of Zach of what happened to him? What place in this school, this city is far? I mean, is fat. Is what place in this school, this city is safe for me now? Any is safe for me now? Nowhere. There are 7 more mouths. I mean, there are 7 more months of school left. I don't think we're going to make it, but if I go upstate now, I might not ever finish school. Worse, if I go upstate now, I'll miss the funeral. Ah, all right, y'all. I'm gonna stop right there. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there, y'all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with any and everybody. Let them know what your girl is doing on this channel. And I'll be back with another freaking video. Make sure you stay tuned. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. Subscribe. Come join the team. Come join the big Nique gang, the big dog gang. And make sure you leave them comments, appropriate comments. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.